You are Locked On Astros Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Houston on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Wow, how much fun was that, guys? Guess what we get to do again tonight? Talk about the Astros going back to losing on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Welcome. A little bit late tonight, playing some old school baseball where there wasn't a pitch clock tonight, but we're with you here live on YouTube. Thank you for joining us here tonight. And the Astros losers in this one. As rough as it gets, once again, the bats went ice cold. Josh Hader went meltdown mode. And all of a sudden, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, this show is screwed because my computer just told me that it's going to require to do an update in 5 minutes, and I don't know how to stop it. This is going to be a lot of fun to figure out here in the next 5 minutes when you're live. What a great notification to get. But hey, today's show is brought to you by eBay Motors. From brakes to exhaust kits and beyond, eBay Motors has over 122 million parts to keep your ride or die alive. With all the parts you need and at the prices you want, it's easy to bring home that big win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay guaranteed fit. Only available to U.S. customers. So the Astros, a very winnable game throughout the night tonight. And unfortunately, they fall apart in terms of being able to, do anything offensively. And then on top of that, they don't have a closer at the moment who can, figure it out. Just as rough as it gets. Just like this right now, guys, I'm going to try something really, really quick because of my upcoming technical issues. I'm going to hit a button and I'm going to switch computers. It's going to sound a little different for a second. Let's try this.
This is live on the go. Look at this. I'm in two places. I'm going to have to take myself off of one, and I think this is okay. Somebody in the comments tell me if this is working. If you can hear me, I'm going to plug my microphone into this computer. I work off of two different computers in here, and I think that this is going to work. But let me know if this is going to work, and we can continue this show. The Astros. Look, I know Josh Hader topic at the end of the game tonight was the thing that we're really worried about necessarily. Okay, thank you. It's working fine. Good to know. Josh Hader was terrible. He's not been good so far, Astro, and it stinks for a guy that you paid $95 million to be something. But the biggest issue of this game tonight is that you're I know the background's dark. Let me turn my light up. Oh, see, look at this. This is not live. This is my first live crisis of the show so far. Okay, you'd have live crisis on the radio forever, but not when you're doing YouTube, and now we've figured it out. So we're learning as we go. But the bats didn't do anything at all tonight. And when you go out there and you get a whopping, one run in the baseball game, you're never going to win those games, period. And I wish, they'd go out there and perform to the level that they're capable of performing and perform like the baseball team that they did over the weekend, which was a team that, they were awesome. 8 runs, 9 runs, 10 runs. They did everything that they were supposed to do over the weekend against the Rangers, and tonight against the Atlanta Braves, and a team that's throwing a guy that's making his third start of his big league career. They could not do that at all. And you're never going to win a baseball game doing those kind of things. And they know that. Josh Hader thing doesn't matter, but the Josh Hader is irritating because it's a one-run game and you're paying this guy. And look, I've talked about it a lot. I like Josh Hader. And I think overall, eventually, he did this last year. If you go back and look at his year last year with the Padres, he had a rough start to the season. His numbers were pretty high. And then he kind of figured it out. His stuff is still great. He's been lethal for so long. I still think he's going to be one of the best closers in the game for a long period of time. I never thought that handing out $95 million to a closer was smart. Look, Mets did it with Edwin Diaz a year before, and look what they are. They're terrible. They're the New York Mets. They're not any good. They look like the New York Mets. You're not the New York Mets. You're the Houston Astros. You had an elite closer. You had another guy that's capable of being an elite closer in Brian Abreu, and instead you're over here saying, "Hey, we lost Kendall Gray for this year. We didn't spend any money anywhere else in the bullpen. Let's go ahead and let's give Josh Hader because he's sitting out there in January, $95 million. Not a lot of competition probably to get him at that dollar amount. Let's go ahead and do that." It's just when you put a guy like that into a game in those situations, you expect him to be, and that's the contract. You know, that contract says you're going to go out there and be nails every single time that you get the baseball. And he's just not been that. He's honestly been terrible. He's got one save, and that in large part is due to the team being not good. It's another loss for the Astros tonight, and the trend continues. They suck. They're 6-12. I mean, they're lucky as what that the American League West is not good. It's been terrible this year. I mean, I don't know what to make of any of it in the West so far. I don't think that it's going to stay where it's a non-competitive division, but we're talking about tonight having one team that's over 500 at 9-8. They're extremely lucky to be in last place in the division and be 3.5 games after 18 games played. But if you're going to start we'll take an assessment in a couple of days when they play the day game against the Braves. And I can tell you this, I think that my assessment will be that this team stinks. Absolutely stinks. And is still the most disappointing team in baseball. Still the most disappointing start that I can remember in recent history. And you keep going down this road, I don't know where you're going to fix it. I hope that they can find it. I really, really do, but we'll see, right? I guess there's a positive to the baseball game tonight. If you want to play silver lining to anything, Jose Altuve's awesome. He had another 3-hit game tonight. He's got like 4 in the last 5 games, something like that. The guy's hitting 403 for 18 games of the season. Could you please win some games for Jose Altuve so he can deservedly get himself back into the MVP race? Yeah, I think so. Looking at your comments here, got a lot of you guys piping in on the comments. One that just came in there from you, Mr. Thunder, about Harris having the personality of the spark plug of the pitchers that were out there. I agree. Hector Neris is a big, big deal in that Astros clubhouse. He mattered a lot. He mattered a lot to those pitchers, and he truly was a leader for that. And it was something that that they're missing at this season. They're also missing hits. Another guy, and I tweeted it out because Brian McTaggart of MLB.com tweeted it out a little while ago about the numbers for him. And he's going to be the sticking point a lot this season. It's going to be Jose Abreu. Look, it's time. It's April the 15th, and you're wasting your time. You're spinning your wheels. Lofapito down in the minor leagues is ready to go. You're comfortable with him playing first base. He leads all of baseball with home runs so far, like 10. There's no point in him spinning his wheels in the Pacific Coast League anymore. He should be at the big league level. He should be playing first base every day and going at it from there. Because Jose Abreu, I don't want to just beat a dead horse, and I hate that that's a terrible phrase to use, I guess, for what he is, describing what he is. But like, that's where he's been. He's been that atrocious at the plate. And it's another one of those, you're talking about all these contracts that are terrible. It's another one of those contracts that Jim Crane handed out and Jeff Bagwell handed out that, I mean, just absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious all the way around what they're getting out of him. So we'll talk more about him at some point. We're also going to talk about Spencer Arrighetti's start in just a bit, as well as Alex Bregman returning to the plate tonight. Positive signs for him to see him hit the baseball hard. Plenty to do here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. Thank you for joining us tonight live on YouTube, or a late night one because the Astros and the Braves decided to play one of the world's longest baseball games for a Monday night. And gosh, did it look like a Monday night crowd too. I know that baseball, the numbers across the sport are down everywhere in terms of uh, attendance on Monday nights. They really should do what the minor leagues do and not play on Monday nights universally. There should be a universal Monday night off because nobody seems to care about baseball on a Monday night. Let's talk about Spencer Getty's night after this. Right now, I want to tell you about who is bringing you this show tonight, and that is eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. And now I want to tell you about Monopoly Go. That's right, Monopoly Go. I've been told I'm super competitive. Okay, well, yeah, I am really, really competitive. We all have that competitive side, and my competitive side is a big fan of Monopoly Go. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's been downloaded over 150 million times. It's a great twist on Monopoly where you play on not one, but hundreds of Monopoly boards in crazy locations, building up amazing cities that bring you big money. But the best part is messing with my friends. I could charge them rent on my iconic properties, just like in real Monopoly. But now I can also rob their vaults of riches for myself. And the leaderboards show me who the biggest Monopoly tycoon is. But it's not just my competitive side that loves it. You can team up with friends and people all around the world in timed tournaments to earn huge rewards. So get in the game and join your friends. Download Monopoly Go now, free on the Apple or Google Play Store. Okay, welcome back to the Locked On Astros Postcast here. Live on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. I promise you that the look and the sound of it is not like it typically is tonight. My computer, as we started tonight, decided that it had to do an automatic required update. I have two laptops here. The one that we usually run the show off of, because it has the Ethernet plug, decided it needed to update. So it's actually rebooting right now. We might just change over in just a moment, and maybe it'll change once again. But thank you for joining us here on the Locked On Astros Postcast. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like or hit that subscribe button. Also, you can go listen to this show in its audio version. Search for Locked On Astros everywhere that you get your podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, whatever it is. They've got it out there. Search Locked On Astros. You'll see this show titled Postcast at the very beginning in bold letters. You can listen to this and the Locked On Astros cast as well. So double your pleasure, double your fun, and get it for the price of $3.99. Everybody loves the price of $3.99, including me. So get all the Astros coverage you need. Unfortunately, we have bad baseball to continue to talk about because they lose tonight. Now 6-12 on the season. Sure would be nice if baseball, wouldn't it? I think so. I think it'd be awesome, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it'd be great if they went out there in games that were very winnable, like tonight's baseball game was, and found a way to get a victory. Now, Spencer Arrighetti makes his second big league start. Spencer Arrighetti is a very important person for this Astros team in this brief moment. Now, Justin Verlander back this weekend, going to throw a bullpen, will pitch at some point in that Washington series. When exactly that will be is, I think, still TBD or TBA, whatever it is, depending on how the bullpen session goes for the Astros ace, which he has been throughout the years. And, you know, you're hopeful that he can get back out there and look like Justin Verlander very, very soon. Because if that's the case, then the Astros are going to be in a very good spot with where they're at pitching-wise. And we're going to do this real
Quick.
quick. We're hitting the button again. Look at me. I'm double screening it right here.
Send me a message in the comments again. Let me know if that worked okay, because the other computer started working and the connection and everything should be good again. And here we are for the Locked On Astros postcast. But I will say, Spencer Arrighetti tonight better than his first start. Not awesome, but better. His thing is going to have to be, look, you have to go deeper into baseball games. You have to throw fewer pitches to stay later in the game. You have to have the ability to get out of innings with 2 outs, and he did not do that very often tonight. He struggled mightily at times having that ability to get out. I mean, that second inning was just downright brutal. He's lucky he only gave up 2 runs. Baseball is, in large part, a sport of luck at times. And tonight, he had a little bit of it, and that's okay that you have it. You hope that he's calmed his nerves maybe overall for this baseball team, because there is a chance that they need him. And look, right now they're at a spot in their bullpen where they still need, some coverage, maybe, if he's the guy that gets knocked out, which I would assume he clearly is, of the rotation, of that rotation when Verlander comes back. Maybe he slides into a bullpen role for a minute, because they have had a lot of need to have guys cover a lengthy period of time. I mean, in large part because of outings like he's had. But, honestly, 4 tonight feels like it's okay. The stuff is good. The command is a little all over the place, and that's kind of baseball. You're going to have a night where you go out there, your command is great, your command is not great. You see the curveball's pretty darn wicked when he's landing it. He has pretty nice stuff. I mean, that fastball when he gets it up in the zone, I really thought some of those. Now, Acuna had a really great at bat against him in the second at bat, but you saw he kind of powered that fastball up in the zone against Acuna, and that kind of hold that he has in his swing that makes you think, oh, you know what, there really is something here with Spencer Arrighetti that's very intriguing that you got to keep watching. I just don't know how long the leash is going to be. It's going to help him in terms of maybe being able to get more starts if Hunter Brown comes back out and is terrible, and JP France is terrible again. Like, those things would definitely help Spencer Arrighetti get some more opportunity. The Astros don't need that. The Astros need those other guys to step up in a bigger way, and what they really need is being forced into, like, Spencer Arrighetti shows them that he can handle the big leagues a little bit, and then he, can be a bullpen guy for them this season. But I will say this, if Hunter Brown goes out there and matches his 16.43 ERA on the season tomorrow night in Game 2 of this 3-game series, then guess what? Spencer Arrighetti, come on down, buddy. You're going to get a 3rd start in the big leagues, because I don't want to see Hunter Brown anymore. I can tell you that, for a guy that we absolutely thought was going to be nails for this team for a very long time. It's not over yet. It just does not feel good with Hunter Brown based off of what he's going. But not perfect. Again, not a perfect night tonight for Spencer Arrighetti by any means, but it was a positive step compared to the 3 or 7 runs he gave up in the 3rd inning in his first start against Kansas City. And the Astros tonight have to feel a little bit better about his ability to get some outs, and sometimes it's just about, and that comes with big league experience, he said easily, is that handling situations of stress and closing out innings is an art form. It's easy to get to the 2 outs sometimes, but getting out of the inning is not always the easiest thing, and that was the case again for Arrighetti. Let's talk about a man that returned tonight at third base, Alex Bregman, and we'll do that next. All right, I want to go ahead and talk to you about Yahoo Finance. Wouldn't it be great if you could see all of your investments and retirement accounts in one place? With Yahoo Finance, you can consolidate your views from multiple accounts into one hub and access the expert analysis you need to tend to your entire profile with confidence. Let's get straight to the point. You want to grow your portfolio to deal with the rising cost of inflation, to pay off your debt or your mortgage, pretty much anything standing in the way with you and your financial freedom. With Yahoo Finance, you can get access to the news, data, and tools that you need in order to reach that financial freedom. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor, whether you're a seasoned investor or looking for that extra guidance. Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and data you need in one place. They are the #1 finance destination, producing a holistic look at the financial news cycle, including breaking news, original editorial perspectives, analyst ratings, independent research, customizable charts, and so much more. Securely link your brokerage accounts for a unified view of your wealth, including 401k and your investments. A comprehensive perspective is what sets apart great investors, and it's what Yahoo Finance ensures you have the right insight to look at your wealth in its entirety. For comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit the brand behind every great investor, yahoofinance.com, the #1 financial destination, yahoofinance.com. That's yahoofinance.com. Locked On Astros Postcast rolls on here live on YouTube. It's been an interesting one, like the Astros game tonight, where pitchers duel, which credit to the Astros pitching staff tonight. They gave their team a chance to win a baseball game until Josh Hader decided to come in and go torched earth and be terrible once again. So I can't be completely mad at all the effort. I am mad about the bats not doing anything tonight. And like this show where we had some technical stuff early and now we're here, been a little bit up and down, but we've made it. You've made it. Thank you for being here live on YouTube. Again, if you're new to the page, hit subscribe, share it with your friends and family. If they have a YouTube account, tell them to hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate as we continue to build this with all of our daily videos, which again will be with you tomorrow after game 2 of this 3-game series. And then after the day game on Wednesday, we're hopefully talk about wins the next 2 days. The Astros now 2-2 on the homestand. That'd be great to, have a winning homestand. They need that in the worst way. And the opportunity to do that in the next 2 against the Braves. Of course, if you're looking for this show in its audio form, just search for Locked On Astros. Anywhere that you get your podcast, you can check out this show or the Locked On Astros show. This one will be up about 15 minutes after the show ends. Alex Bregman returns for the Astros tonight, and his first at bat drives in the Astros' only run of the game. I thought that tonight was a very good sign for Alex Bregman. Now, there's still a lot of things that I need to see personally to think that he's going to perform at the level that, the Astros really need him to perform. If you go to X factors of a baseball team, and the Astros have a lot of X factors. Of course, Altuve at the top. I mean, he is the driving force a lot of times for what this team does. Yordan Alvarez behind him, he doesn't get the national recognition for it as much, but there might not be a more polished overall hitter than he is in baseball, and a more feared hitter than he is in Major League Baseball. Kyle Tucker is lethal. He's a little bit streaky at times, but he's a lethal. He's one of the 3 to 5 best left-handed bats in the game. And I'm telling you, if you didn't have him, you'd miss him big time. Yainer Diaz is really, really good behind the plate. I think he's going to be one of the best hitting catchers in baseball every single year. Alex Bregman we've gone through it before. His career has been this weird arc. It was up, 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 up. A little bit of a downturn, and then he's kind of leveled off. And he's been a really, really solid big league player. They need him to be great. He's going to hit the 4-hole every day and have the opportunity to drive in runs as much as he, should with the guys in front of him. He needs to be great. He needs to be elite for this team to do that. And tonight was a good sign. Hit the ball hard a few times. I think the one thing that I want to see is that, the ball in the air starts going hard, because that's kind of been the sticking point for him the last couple of seasons, has been that he hits the ball on the ground a lot, and he doesn't hit it that hard anymore. He stung the ball tonight. There was not a lot of elevation to it. He's not hit a home run just yet. He's one of these guys, the grind never stops. He's always in the cage. He's always on the video. He's always doing things. And you do wonder at some point in a big league career, does the tinkering become too much? When you're changing your batting stance all the time and, changing your setup or changing your finish with the one hand or the two hands, whatever it is. At some point, I would go back if I was advising him. Now, look, I'm not a big league hitting coach, so I don't know. But, I'd go back to those 2018, 2019 seasons, look what I did mechanically, and try and repeat that. Again, I think a lot of the benefit those seasons for him and others, it's not just him, was the juice baseball. Alex Bregman's was never a 40 home run guy. and will never be one again. But he ran into 41 home runs that 2019 season. And if you just go look across baseball, how many guys had just absolutely huge home run years that year? It was the baseball. It's just the truth of the matter. It's okay, though. He took advantage of it, and he almost won an MVP from it. I got to focus on now like he does, like they do. We know about the contract situation and everything after the year. They need him to be, if he's going to stick in that 4-hole, which at some point, look, you're 6-12, you're Joe Espada, and I can't keep blaming Joe Espada for everything. I can blame him tonight maybe a little bit for getting out of control, but okay. Even if Joe Espada puts in somebody else and they don't give up any runs there in the ninth inning, did you really think the Astros bats were going to do anything tonight? I didn't. They were feeble all night long. They looked terrible. So, if I'm Joe Espada, I might be looking at this and saying, I need to tinker with the construction of my lineup, shake things up a little bit, and maybe Alex Bregman's included in that kind of situation. Who knows? Maybe he ends up back in the 2-hole or something. Maybe he slides down to 5, or maybe he slides back to 3. Jordan goes back to 4, so whatever it might be. I don't think it's happening anytime soon that they're going to get too crazy with it. I think Joe Espada is going to stick with the way that the numbers lean, and I appreciate that. Numbers tell you things. I'm a believer in numbers. Now, it's got to pay off. It's got to play out that way. And if it continues to not play out that way, the numbers are saying that you shouldn't do certain things one way or the other, or this lineup versus that lineup, then maybe you start considering changing things up if you're Joe Espada and the Astros. But I still don't think that they're going to be there. I think they're going to get through this series at minimum before they evaluate, before they get back out on the road. And they are going to play a schedule, and they get back out after this series against the Braves that on paper looks like you have a better chance to get right during. We've talked about this a lot, though. They need to get right now instead of getting right in May, in mid-May, in late May. It's April 5th. It's tax day. If you haven't done your taxes, you might want to do that. It's almost midnight. At least file that extension. But if they start to turn it around now, and by the end of April they're closer to 500, then that's okay. You can end up living with that. You're going to have a month where you go 500 in the month. You're going to have a month where you have a losing record. Like it's going to happen for every good team basically across the sport. It's very rare that you just blitz the entire season unless you're the 2022 Astros or the 2019 Astros, where they basically didn't slump at all the entire year. Those are the very rare circumstances. Hopefully you're getting it out of the way now. They have to figure it out. Tomorrow, again, game 2 of this 3-game series. Hunter Brown has to right the ship tomorrow. There's no other way to put it. He cannot continue to perform at the level that he has performed, and the Astros use him the way that they've been using him. He's going to go up against Reynaldo Lopez, a guy that you've been familiar with. You've seen the Astros face him in years past. He's been a reliever signed with the Braves this offseason to be a starter. He's off to a good start in his first 2 starts with the Braves. So on paper right now, even though the Astros have had some success against Lopez in his past when he was a reliever, he is a guy that's off to a good start this season. So we'll see if they're able to pull that off. Thank you for joining us again tonight. Live on YouTube. Of course, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Share this video all over the place. I appreciate it. Dealing with the back and the forth a little bit. We had to change some computers as we went. Search for Locked On Astros everywhere that you get your podcast as well. You can find this one and the Locked On Astros podcast as well. Back to it again tomorrow night after Astros and Braves game 2 of this 3-game series. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. We'll talk then.